What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, what's going on with the United States, what's going on in Washington, D.C., and what is going on with this next $3.5 trillion stimulus package, which passed a crucial vote in the U.S. House of Representatives yesterday. Take a look.
On this vote, the yeas are 220, the nays are 212. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
So, number one, this is not the final vote. If you've been watching this show for a while, you know that they go in voting stages. This is a voting process. But this was a very important vote for the $3.5 trillion stimulus package because there was 9 or 10, and there was actually another person from the Democratic side that joined, so a 10th moderate Democrat from the House of Representatives that joined at the very last moment. So 10 Democrats, moderate Democrats, that were saying they didn't want to vote on the $3.5 trillion stimulus package first. Okay, so they were basically holdouts, what they're called moderate Democrats, which are kind of a little bit Republican-leaning Democrats, as opposed to they're the opposite of left-leaning Democrats, which are considered progressive Democrats. Those are the Democrats that want more stimulus, okay? The Democratic Progressive Caucus, there's about 100 of them. Pramila Jayapal is the leader of that, the Democratic Progressive Caucus, okay? These 10 moderate Democrats were kind of holdouts. And the problem with this is there's only 3 votes that they can afford to not lose. So basically, they wouldn't have been able to pass this motion to proceed without them. Okay, so they were at a stalemate. They were kind of at a standstill. And basically, Nancy Pelosi, the leader of the Democrats and the Speaker of the House, had to negotiate with them to even proceed with this, because without this motion, they were stuck. They were at a standstill, and they basically negotiated all night long for about 24 hours. They were actually on the House floor until midnight the night before, and all morning the next morning as well. And finally, they made some concessions with them that basically said that, okay, they were going to proceed with the stimulus package first, which is actually really good news because these moderate Democrats wanted to vote on the infrastructure package first. They wanted to just pass the infrastructure package first and get it out of the way. But that is not what happened, so they are going to now be proceeding with the $3.5 trillion stimulus package. The concession that Nancy Pelosi gave them is that basically that they will go and vote on the infrastructure package by, I think it's September 27th. So in about a month from now, they're going to vote on the physical infrastructure package. Remember, that's the physical infrastructure package. It's not the stimulus package. Anyways, no matter what, down the road. Okay, so basically that's the concession they gave them, that they're going to vote on that down the road a month from now, no matter what. Okay, here's kind of a little more information on pretty much everything that went down, along with an interview of Kevin McCarthy, the Republican leader of the House. Also, real quick, if you didn't see it from last night, we finally, based on popular demand, I've had so many people ask, we launched a YouTube channel for my son, Julian. It's called Julian's Adventures, and I'll put a link down below for you guys, and I will link it to you at the end of this video. So just watch to the end, and I will link you to Julian's Adventures so you guys can check out his YouTube channel. And yeah, Julian's Adventures. It's pretty awesome.
Some big news on Capitol Hill. The House voting this afternoon to move ahead with President Biden's agenda that includes both infrastructure and voting rights. NBC News national political reporter Sahil Kapoor is on the Hill for us. Sahil, this procedural vote today was supposed to happen yesterday, but it was delayed because Democrats just couldn't get on the same page. How did Speaker Pelosi wrangle everyone together to make this vote happen this afternoon?
By making some concessions to the moderate rebels who threatened to torpedo it, Allison. Essentially, she promised them that there would be a vote on the Senate-passed infrastructure bill on the floor of the House of Representatives no later than September 27th. This is important for those centrists because they wanted that vote to happen as soon as possible, and they wanted it separate, delinked from this larger multi-trillion-dollar reconciliation package that Democrats are going to have to pass on a party-line vote. Now, big picture, this is an important victory for President Biden, but this is only the beginning of the road. There's going to be a long and treacherous journey to get all Democrats in the Senate and all but at least 3 Democrats in the House of Representatives on board the final product, which they now begin working on as a result of this vote.
Sahil, earlier today, you asked House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy if he'll whip House Republicans to vote against the infrastructure bill. What did he tell you?
He did not directly answer that question, Allison. He argued that the House should not bring up the infrastructure bill at all. He said no business should come before the House of Representatives while Americans are still stranded in Afghanistan and not able to get out, that's where the 100% of the U.S. government's focus should be. Let's play a little bit of what McCarthy had to say when I asked him that a little bit ago.
It's very clear from this conference that we will spend our time on the floor only focused on this. Until every American's out, we should not be working on anything else. I don't think the infrastructure bill should come up. I don't think any other business should come up. We should be spending our time on this right here. And
now, some Republicans say as many as dozens of lawmakers in that caucus are prepared to vote for that Senate infrastructure bill if it comes up as a standalone. So there is some prospect of winning Republican votes, but it remains to be seen, as you saw there with McCarthy, how leadership is going to play this. Are they going to pressure members to vote a certain way?
All right, so Sahil, what needs to happen between now and this September 27th vote we're hoping on infrastructure? A month sure sounds like a while, but we know how long it can take to get anything done on Capitol Hill.
Well, a couple of things. So the Senate infrastructure bill is already sitting in the House of Representatives. All they have to do is put it on the floor, and it should pass. Now, the caveat is progressives have threatened to vote it down if reconciliation is held up. So to answer your question, what they need to do is get progressives to a place where they're content with the progress of that reconciliation bill. They insist. 3 of them who I spoke to in just the last couple of hours, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Cori Bush, Rashida Tlaib, all said that they would not be prepared to vote for the infrastructure bill if the reconciliation bill does not move in tandem. So that is the challenge now for Speaker Pelosi and the centrist Democrats who secured their concession today, but they still have to get progressives on board to vote for the final product. And that means getting reconciliation to a place where those progressives are content to move it forward. Allison?
Okay, so just so we're not getting confused here, the September 27th vote is not for the stimulus package. I know I'm going to see some comments saying this. That is not for the stimulus package vote. That is the deadline to start the physical infrastructure package vote, okay? That is the vote that's going to come second, okay? The vote that happened yesterday is the vote to start the proceedings on the stimulus package, the $3.5 trillion stimulus package, that is going to come first. Okay, the physical infrastructure package is going to come second and is going to start on September 27th. Okay, just so everybody's clear on that. I know I'm going to get some comments on that saying, we got to wait till September 27th for the stimulus package. That is not what they're saying. I know I'm going to get some comments on that anyways, and that is not what they're saying. Okay, the stimulus package is coming first. The physical infrastructure package is coming second on September 27th, if it even takes that long for the physical infrastructure package. Okay. Regarding Kevin McCarthy, the Republican leader of the House, just so everybody's clear on that, he's going to be voting no on both the physical infrastructure package and the social infrastructure package. I know it gets a little bit confusing there. He's going to be voting both no on the physical infrastructure package and the stimulus package. Now, Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader of the Senate, he voted yes on the physical infrastructure package, and then they voted no on the stimulus package. But Kevin McCarthy is going to be voting no on both. So, of course, it only makes sense that he would say that we shouldn't be focusing on either. We should be focusing on Afghanistan. Of course, he's a Republican, so it only makes sense that he's critical of a Democratic president, just to be fair there also. He's also critical of both the physical infrastructure package and the stimulus package because he's going to be voting no on both of them. So he wants to delay both of those as much as physically possible because he's going to be voting no on both of them either way. He doesn't want either of them to pass. So when even the physical infrastructure package, which passed the Senate with both bipartisan votes, Mitch McConnell backed it. Kevin McCarthy says he's not in favor of that. So he's going to be voting no on both the stimulus package and the physical infrastructure package. And that's why you heard him say in the interview that we shouldn't be focused on either of them. We should be focusing on Afghanistan. So he's going to be voting no on both of them. So of course he's going to say that we should be focusing on something else. President Biden says that they're going to be sticking with the August 31st deadline for Afghanistan withdrawal, which is like less than a week away. So if they go past the August 31st withdrawal to withdraw anybody, Afghans or United States personnel or anybody from Afghanistan after 31st, they will have to negotiate with the Taliban after August 31st. President Biden says the U.S. is on pace to leave Afghanistan by August 31st. So lawmakers from both parties are pushing back on this August 31st deadline, saying here that, quote, there has been and remains an overwhelming bipartisan consensus that this cannot be done by August 31st, says Representative Tom Malinowski, who is a Democrat from New Jersey, a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, who served as a senior State Department official during the Obama administration, said following a classified briefing for House lawmakers. So both Democrats and Republicans are saying that they don't think they can make it by the August 31st deadline, even though President Biden is saying for now that they're going to stick with the August 31st deadline, which is less than a week, for everybody to withdraw from there. Now, they could change this here in the last minute. They will have to negotiate with the Taliban or use force if it comes down to it. Now, the Taliban says that they will no longer allow Afghans to go to the Kabul airport for evacuation, a spokesperson says. The Taliban says Tuesday, let me zoom in here for you, that a group will not allow Afghan nationals to leave the country anymore and opposes an extension of evacuation flights. President Joe Biden has previously said he may consider extending the departure date past August 31st, but has yet to do so. More than 5,000 troops are currently on the ground in Kabul assisting with evacuation efforts. Now, regarding with what is going to happen here going forward with the next stimulus package. So this vote is not the final vote that has happened. We've seen the vote happen. It was 220 to 212. All Democrats voted yes. All Republicans voted no. If you've been watching the show, you know that literally that is exactly what I told you was going to happen. Pretty much, I feel like I have my finger on the pulse of what's going to happen here. So I kind of like led you down this path of, that was what was going to happen here. So now, what is probably going to be happening next is they're going to be writing this bill. From what I understand is that a large portion of this bill is already written. But now it's going to be coming down to the final phase of putting this bill together and then bringing it to the House floor. So then they're going to be going through the final voting stages. I'm not 100% sure if there's going to be some more procedural votes. I haven't seen them announce that yet, but that could be the case. Sometimes with these procedural votes, they literally announce it and then they go through a procedural vote the day of. We'll have to see. There's not really a set amount of procedural votes for the reconciliation process, so I don't have a certain amount of number of procedural votes that I can give you. Because remember, we've seen in the Senate, even Chuck Schumer, if you remember, if you've been watching this show for a while, and if you're a detailed person, remember at the very end of the procedural vote they were going through in the Senate, they had a longer path and then they had a shorter path, if you kind of remember that. And they can go down different paths of longer paths or shorter paths. So sometimes there's different paths they can take with longer amounts of debate. They actually have certain amounts of debate they have to do by law, and they can actually do votes to cut down on the debate if they have unanimous consent and stuff like that. So this is kind of how the law works. They have checks and balances and stuff like that. So we'll have to see how the process goes. And the nice thing is that they have voted to put the stimulus package, the $3.5 trillion stimulus package, in the first spot. So that's the next thing that they're working on. It is going ahead of the physical infrastructure package, and that is what is going to be voted on in its entirety next. So the $3.5 trillion stimulus package is going to be the next thing passed in the House and the Senate, and it is exactly what they're working on now. From what I understand, a large portion of the bill is already written. We actually seen a tweet from Senator Bernie Sanders. Here it is from yesterday. He says, we're going to tax the wealth of these billionaires with the budget reconciliation legislation. We're finally going to invest in the needs of the working class of this country. Trust me, I wrote the damn bill. So you can see here, he says he wrote the damn bill. So I'm going to take his word for it there that he has literally wrote a large portion of this bill. Now, what is in this bill, that is going to be the interesting part here. And that brings me to my list here. We can see these 4 green items have just been passed here within the last few weeks. The eviction moratorium that goes until October 3rd, that actually the Supreme Court is going to be ruling on here again to see if it's legal and if it's going to stay legal and stay until October 3rd. We'll probably be having a ruling here on that maybe within the next few days. Pause on the student loan payments for over 40 million people. Pause on payments, pause on interest, pause on garnishments, pause on anything, everything for student loans if you have federal student loans until January 31st. Over $8.8 billion of student loans have been forgiven for people with permanent disabilities, people that have had their student loans, their schools have defrauded them or their schools closed on them. Again, if you think you might be eligible for that, go to Google and type in student loan forgiveness and go to the official student loan page of the government and check it out. You might qualify for it. And as well as the 25% SNAP increase that is permanent that will start on October 1st. All 4 of those things, that alone, the SNAP increase is going to help 42 million people. The average amount is $36 per month, which is like $435 per year. Per year, every single year per person. That's almost a stimulus check, like a $600 stimulus check. It's almost that amount per person. Some people get more, some people get less. It depends on the amount of SNAP you get. Those were just passed in the last like 2 weeks. All these additional items in black are going to be up for consideration here with this next stimulus package. And remember, this next stimulus package is $3.5 trillion. $3.5 trillion. So we're really going to see what is going to be in this next package. Will the child tax credits that go out to 65 million children of $250 to $300 per month or $3,000 to $3,600 per year, will those get extended? Remember, those are only passed for just this 1 year. So will 65 million children continue to get checks past this year? Will there be adult tax credit checks, basically checks for adults? Will there be stimulus checks in this next package, or will there be an adult tax credit check? Either way, it's a check. Will they call it a stimulus check? Will they call it a tax credit? Either way, it's a check. We don't care what they call it, whether they call it a stimulus check, whether they call it a adult tax credit check. We really don't care what they call it. We just want people to get checks in their pocket. So either way, we want people to get relief. So the nice thing is that this next stimulus package will be the largest package ever. And we also know that Medicare is probably going to be in this next package for seniors. Bernie Sanders says about 75% of seniors do not have hearing coverage, dental coverage, denture coverage, and hearing coverage and hearing aid coverage. About 75% of seniors do not have that coverage, as well as lower the Medicare eligibility age to age 60. We don't know if they're going to lower the actual eligibility age to age 60. We're going to see if that makes it in this next package. Also, 2 years of free community college is expected to be in this next package as well. We're going to see what the eligibility is for that. Could the $25,000 home buyer credit also be included in this package? That is something that could be in this next package as well. Honestly, pretty much everything on this list could be in this next package, probably except for unemployment benefits. They have recently announced that unemployment bonus money will not be extended anymore past September 6th unless your state wants to extend it. If you're from a Democratic-run governored state, you could be in luck because if you're a Republican governor, well, your Republican governor is probably not going to do it. But your Democratic-run governor could do it. I'm just telling you guys the realistic state of things here, because all the Republican governors have already opted out of it, so we all know that they're not going to do it. I'm not picking sides. I'm just telling you the realistic state of things here. But President Biden says that the states can dip into their stimulus money from the third stimulus check package to continue the $300 per week bonus money or the extra weeks of unemployment money past the normal amount of state unemployment weeks, which each state has a normal allotment. I think each state has the normal 26 weeks. Each state could vary. But so Democratic governors could opt in for extra bonus money. We will have to see if any states do that. But I will keep you up to date on what stimulus items are going to make it in this next package and how quickly it's going to happen. Now that the House has decided they're going to be proceeding with this next stimulus package first in the House of Representatives. So that's actually really good news. And they're probably going to be bringing the bill here pretty soon. So let me know your thoughts on this. I will keep you up to date with everything. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. And click the bell icon to all notifications to get reminder notifications when we go live with new videos. You can click this video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video is my new channel with my son, who is 3 years old. His name is Julian. We just launched his new channel based on popular demand. You guys have been asking for it for a while, and we finally launched it. Julian's Adventure. Julian goes to the zoo in his first new video. So you can click this video here to watch Julian's Adventure with his first video. Thanks for watching, guys. Click on one of those videos next, and we will see you in the next video.